You have 30 seconds to establish the first connection with each individual you meet. In those passing seconds, you are evaluated. Your knowledge, financial foundation, social capacities, passionate soundness, honesty, and skills that are formed around them. Those initial feelings generally stick and become enduring impressions. Have you heard the maxim, first impressions last? Trust this because it's evident. Nothing is a higher priority than others' opinions about you on the first occasion when you become acquainted with one another. How you talk, the clothes you wear, and how you look will be imbued in their minds for eternity. Almost everyone will make a good first impression, but only a few will make a good lasting impression. In psychology, first impressions are the events in which a person first meets another person and forms an image of that person in his mind. The degree of exposure depends on the observer and what is being observed. Are the first impressions true? Yes, it is true because first impressions are mostly right. First impressions are based upon feelings and emotions, but a good first impression can work wonders for a person. First impressions are very important. While a book should not be judged by its cover, many people are unlikely to read it if the cover is not inviting. But in fact, people take only a few seconds to judge you. They judge you based on your looks. People are so judgmental that in the time you say hello they will come to know about most of your personality traits, that whether you are or not trustworthy, honest, confident, or competent, and what you will be able to do in a situation. You cannot control everything like physical attributes, like if you are tall, and you cannot be short. You also cannot control different biases a group of certain people has because they already have. You think you are at a loss because of these things, but what you can do is overcompensate. How will you overcompensate? If someone is of short height, he can stand straight with such a posture to make him look more confident. The person with low pitch or high tone can work on their voice so that they can give a good impression when they have to face the crowd or a single person. This may feel like a joke, but it plays a very significant role in building your first impression. Then how will you make a good impression for the first time? Becoming confident is the most important thing to keep in your mind. Do not act just to impress others, because it will make others think you are lying and not comfortable being yourself. Dress according to the occasion. Whether it's formal or casual attire, you should be aware of the fact what kind of event needs which kind of attire. Knowing this fact, you will feel more confident and will give a long-lasting impression of intellect, sense, and respect. First impressions are lasting. Give special thoughts to your dress, your grooming, and your accessories. Do not try too hard to make a good impression. We all want to make a good and long-lasting impression, but don't try too hard for it. Don't try too hard to be something you're not. Research has indeed discovered that it can require as long as a half year of customary contact with somebody to change their underlying feeling and adjust the focal point through which they see you. That is quite darn calming all by itself. It's much seriously calming when you understand that in past situations where you're compelled to cooperate once more, those subsequent contacts will not get an opportunity to occur. It would be decent if everybody followed the 3 experience rule. However, most of the time, if you don't make an association with somebody first thing, you're not liable to get another chance to do as such. In fact, in a period wherein innovation places all the fish in the ocean a simple swipe away, the way that you never get another opportunity to establish the first connection has never been all the more obvious. Even though thinking often about your initial feeling is frequently seen as shallow, or something that drives you to behave like somebody else. Ideally, you've come to see its actual importance and significance. Initial feelings are not just made rapidly, difficult to shake, and profoundly precise. Yet they're to a great extent based on who you truly are. Chipping away at your initial feeling then, at that point, doesn't mean being phony. Yet first working on your internal game, and afterward figuring out how to introduce your actual self in the most ideal light. How to escape your specific manner to lead with an example of yourself that is indeed more precise than when you act in manners that misrepresent your genuine sentiments and qualities. What's so fulfilling about dominating the craft of initial feeling is that it places you in charge of your communications. It permits you to be seen as you'd prefer to be. You'll have the ability to change how individuals respond to you and get more delight from your everyday associations. That doesn't mean you can control the result of these experiences. In any event, when you establish a positive first connection, at times you're simply not viable with someone else. That is all right. You're not for everybody, nor is any other individual. In any case, when you realize you gave your absolute best impression, and precisely passed on your character, you will not need to stress if a bombed association involved similarity, or on the off chance that you didn't fall off. You will not need to inquire as to whether. You'll have the affirmation that you and the other individual simply aren't fit for one another. So the first impressions hold a very strong connection with a person's personality. A simple formula for making a good and strong first impression that lasts forever is that just be yourself. Be confident in who you are. Because when you are confident, you will automatically give positive vibes, resulting in an elegant first impression. Two things remain irretrievable: time and the first impression. First impressions never have a second chance. So be confident and make your first impressions last forever.